Well, hello, this is Tom Besor, and I would like to welcome you to the wild tropical environment of Chicago's Garfield Park Conservatory. We're here on the near west side of Chicago. Today is Wednesday, January 9th, 2019. The temperature outdoors is about 20 degrees, and the temperature in here is about 75 degrees. And that's one of a couple of reasons why I'm here this evening at the Garfield Park Conservatory. I've never been here before at night with artificial lighting. This is really kind of a cool experience. I'm here this evening for a lecture on sustainability sponsored by the Garfield Park Conservatory. It was just a convenient excuse to escape the cold and to be adventuresome and come on out to a Chicago neighborhood that, to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't be exploring at night. And maybe I shouldn't be. But I feel very safe in here. I feel safe and warm and secure. And I'd like to share with you the scenery around me while I test my video skills with this iPhone 10 and a Zhiyun gimbal. So I'm going to take you on a little spin through the conservatory here just to show you a little bit of the walking paths. This video is going to be about 4 to 5 minutes long, maybe a little bit longer. I'd like to show you the great fern room, and boy, are you in for a surprise. I'll do a separate video that's going to be longer. That'll be a full walking tour. In fact, I did one of those using a 360-degree camera, and as interesting and novel as that approach is, it's just not the same as a normal front-facing video like I'm giving you today. So this is the entryway. This is like the first big glass greenhouse of the conservatory. You can see the giant size of this thing. I don't know, this must be 60, 80 feet tall. So we're in the first greenhouse, which is kind of the entryway to the whole complex, is what I meant to say. And then I'm walking up towards the fern room, and flanking each side of the entrance to the fern room are a couple of sculptures by the famous sculptor Laredo Taft. And they're really beautiful. They go well with this greenery behind them. This one is called Idle. And then there's a companion piece that we'll go see over here. I used to know the name of this companion piece, but sadly the marker, the nameplate, is missing on this one. But if you look these up on the internet, you could see the names. I think they were built or sculpted in like 1913. So the level of detail on these is really beautiful. Okay, but this coming up next is the fern room, which is really a magnificent feature of the Garfield Park Conservatory. Home to some of the oldest species of plants on Earth. Wow. The oldest are about 300 years. I don't know if that means the species is 300 years or if the plant itself is 300 years. But you can see this is another giant room. It's called the fern room for obvious reasons. And it's got a circular or an oval perimeter path. So I'm going to walk down that way. I'm going to show you the view back to where I'm standing from the other side of that pond. And then I'm going to walk back through this path over here. Okay, so we're going on 4 minutes. I think I can do this in 2 minutes. So this will be about a 6-minute video. Not that it matters. If you're interested in this kind of thing, you'll follow along with me. And if you're bored, you'll go find something else to watch. I would love to do this at night when there's no lights, just with a flashlight. I think that would be really cool. It's a very safe, secure, controlled environment. And the kids really love it in here because they can run and scream and do their own thing without getting into too much trouble. As long as they don't fall in the water, that is. So the paths, there's not too many paths, maybe 3 or 4 main paths through this place. And they all just come down to a quick walk. I'm already at the other side, and I'm here at a little waterfall feature. And the water seems to come from nowhere. And that was one of the comments when it was first built in 1908, that they felt the designers did a terrific job of making it appear that this is all natural, just kind of appearing out of nowhere, out of a natural spring. And so here we are at the opposite end of the fern house. We're looking back at the entrance. You could see some people just coming down the stairs there. But what a glorious spot to be in the middle of winter in Chicago. There's a bunch of fish in the pond. I assume those are koi. Looks like a couple dozen of them. This is one of several ponds, several water features here at the conservatory. And then behind me is another lush waterfall. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, now we'll continue on and make our way back to the beginning. A couple of places I've had to step over some stepping stones. Kind of fun. And one thing that I'm not really able to convey to you in this video is the smell. It's just very tropical. It's very humid. It's really cool. It's exactly what you would want on a cold January day. The whole place would take you about an hour, depending on how detailed or scientific you want to be. But if you just want to take a quick spin through here, you could be in and out in an hour. But if you wanted to actually learn something and read some of these nameplates and study some of the plants, you could probably spend all afternoon here. Just depends on your level of interest and whether or not you have kids with you or if you're on your own. It's fun to see the kids in here, but I have to tell you, I'm glad I'm here at a time when it's not overrun with them. I was a kid once, and some might say that I still am, but it's just nice to have some peace and serenity here. I've been here on other occasions when it's just really crazy. So here we are back to the beginning already, but I'm going to stop and show you just a couple of things. This is a better view of the pond from the ground level. And then there's a little plaque up here at the top of the stairs, which I didn't really see when I came in, but on the way out, you could see that it was built in 1907. I guess that's when they started it. And notice the name at the bottom, famous Jens Jensen. And he was a contemporary of Jenny. I think it was Albert Jenny, the famous architect. Jenny was the one responsible for building the conservatory structure, and then Jensen was the landscape architect. Jensen was a contemporary. I think he was actually a student of Frederick Law Olmsted, who built Central Park. But if you read the history of the Chicago park system and the Garfield Park Conservatory, you will learn that they didn't have the money to hire the likes of Frederick Law Olmsted, so they had to settle for Jens Jensen. And that was a good resolution because this place is fantastic. He did a really good job. There's a very fascinating history of the Chicago park system, of not only Garfield Park Conservatory, but also Lincoln Park Conservatory. And you can find all this information online. And there's a couple of books that have been written on this subject as well. So it's if you're interested in history, if you're interested in the parks, if you're looking for some entertainment during a cold January day, this is really a great project to keep you engaged. I'm walking back towards the entrance. I'll do a separate video with some of the other houses that are here at the conservatory. But for now, I'm going to end up with this little picture of a raccoon. This is kind of a donation fountain here, and somebody has collected all the coins and made this image of a raccoon and the name and the scientific name of the raccoon. It's kind of cool. Somebody took a lot of time to put that together. Obviously the brownish color are pennies, and the silver look to me like quarters. They seem to be larger. But that's kind of a cool feature here at the conservatory. Okay, so I promised this would be a 6-minute video, and you can see that we're going on 10 minutes. Guess I need to work on my timing. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you ever have occasion, come on out to the Garfield Park Conservatory. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later.